My younger sister, Mo, thank you for putting up with all those incessant, "Are you Matt McKenna's sister?" questions, even though most of the time you usually just said no and moved on. Let's see, who do we have? Oh, well, a lot of my outlaws are here this evening. Thank you all for coming. It's funny, my sister's all married Elizabeth guys. Me, I got to go to Miami to meet my lovely wife, Elsie. My brother Mike goes to California to drag Michelle back, kicking and screaming, to the East Coast. And Jimmy, well, all I can say about Jimmy is, if there's any nice, normal, single girls that want to go out with a tall, handsome bank VP, ask one of your crazy sisters to give him a call. Okay, where am I at now? Oh, the Outlaws, that's right. Thanks go out to my brother-in-laws, Joe Brady, who is a 12-year graduate, I guess, of St. Mary's, which you're not going to see many of those anymore with St. Mary's closing. He went to St. Mary's for 12 straight years. Jim Machine Gun Morris, back there in the back, fellow St. Catherine's grad. Thanks for coming. And Sergio Francisco, who is living proof that there's at least one good guy that graduated from St. Pat's. All right, where to next? Had to do it. Had to do it. Too often, coaching is measured too much on won-loss records and not on the effect that these guys have on lives. And, you know, I've been blessed with great coaching. It all started with my first coach, Tom Peterson, at St. Catherine's. He taught me a lot of things, but what he really taught me that was most important to me was he taught a skinny kid that it's, you know, not so bad to play with a swagger. It's not so bad to be confident in your abilities, and it's not so bad to even be a little bit cocky. Lucky for me, the Godfrey brothers got me next, Joe and Bob Godfrey, because I started taking this ego thing a little bit too far. I was liking the whole idea of being number one, and those guys who are, you know, cocky kids themselves, growing up on the streets of Jersey City, what they taught me was, you know, you'd be nothing without your teammates, and the only way to be great is to help them get better. And how many eighth graders, at this point I'm in eighth grade, how many eighth graders, you know, learn those kinds of life lessons, you know, that early? So, you know, thanks, guys. And I know things change, but it really is a shame that the Elizabeth Recreation Department League is no longer around. You know, some great players went through there. And, you know, there ought to be a place in the hall for guys like Tom Peterson and Bob Godfrey and Joe Godfrey, guys I competed against like Frank Grassi and Mike Pozick. Anthony Coletti's here tonight. I saw you over there. Kind of hard to miss you. Because there's really not a kid around that, you know, that wasn't positively affected, you know, that went through there. Fortunately for me, the great coaching continued in high school. Randy Westraw, my fellow inductee, taught me a lot about shooting mechanics. Ben Candolino, I was around him just long enough to realize that he was crazy. He gave me the opportunity to play varsity basketball as a freshman. But more importantly, he gave me the opportunity to practice with the varsity as much as possible. There were countless Saturdays and Sundays that my day would start at 9 o'clock with freshman practice, and then 11 o'clock with JV practice, and 1 o'clock with varsity practice. And people would say, "What are you doing practicing all day?" I loved it. You know, it turns out I was as crazy as him. You know, it was great. But doing that really kind of laid the foundation for all the successes that followed. Ernie Pedicano's another guy. You know, his infectious love for the game and his loyalty, it rubbed off on everybody. Coach Halleck. I promised Coach Halleck I wouldn't mention his galoshes. So I'm not going to talk about how he come into practice looking like Mr. Rogers, changing into, out of his work clothes. What I will talk about is the fact that Coach Halleck instilled in us a sense of pride in who we represented. He instilled in us a sense of loyalty, and we didn't win every game, but because of Coach Halleck, we always represented St. Mary's well, and he taught us the right way to play the game, and should be commended for that as well. Just to prove that I learned my lesson about teammates from the Godfrey brothers, there's a couple of teammates here tonight that I'd like to recognize. One of my first teammates was Kevin Mars, my co-captain with St. Catherine's, who, by the way, is also the proud daddy of two, well, of course it's two, twin boys, month-old twin boys. At first, I was really flattered that he was here, but I'm like, he's only here to get the hell out of the house. Kevin was a gamer, though. Kevin was, he always did the little things and the important things that helped make us win, and more importantly, opened up things for me to take shots. We hit it off right from the start. And of course, Kenny Halleck. I think one of the things that often gets lost in Kenny is the fact that this guy was a competitor. And I guess many people didn't really see that in him because he was such a quiet and unassuming guy. Idiots like me would come out with both guns blazing and act like a jerk, and Kenny would just take you apart piece by piece. And he was one of those guys, like at the end of the game, say, oh yeah, Kenny had a pretty good game, and then you look at the stat sheet. 28 points, 11 rebounds, 6 assists. Oh boy, wow. No, he had more than a pretty good game, he had a great game. I tried to help him with his free throw shooting, but the guy, I don't know, he wouldn't listen to me. Okay, almost done, Sheriff. I know, I think he's taking a nap.
What?
No, that's it. I apologize, I'm sorry, I'm almost done. Met some great friends through the game of basketball. I probably wouldn't have met my good buddy Wayne Avery if it weren't for basketball. I probably would have ran into him at the Pastime or the Carls or something eventually. But not many people know this. Wayne actually refereed my first basketball game. I was in the 4th grade. We were playing Holy Rosary, and it was at the old Immaculate Conception bingo hall. Good times. I fouled out. Thanks, Wayne. Okay, my family. Got to get to them. My lovely wife, Elsie. My mother always said, I'm losing the crowd here. My mother always said, the most important decision you make in your life is who you marry. And I hit the jackpot. I married the woman of my dreams. She gives me all the support in the world and an undying love that I probably don't deserve. She made one big mistake 18 years ago, and she's been paying for it ever since. Thank you, Elsie. She's the mother of 2 great kids. Dan, who received quite an honor himself recently. He was just invited to Washington, D.C. to meet with other high achievers in school, for his academic achievements. So great job, Dan. Very proud of you. And my daughter, Jillian, who's a little bit young to be here. She's up for everything, man. She's 7 years old, belies her age with her dance recitals, and she's already a better hitter than her old man in softball. So things go out to her. In closing, I used to say that as much as I enjoy the game of basketball, it brought me more heartache than triumph. After tonight, and because of the people that I thanked and some of the people that I haven't, because I don't have that much time, I can no longer say that. So thank you very much. Appreciate it.